Well, so we spoke a little bit about the US administration and how Congress works. Let's pivot to Greece. We have Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis, who within 6 months of taking office, visited the US. He was then accompanied by his diplomatic attaché or head of his diplomatic office, today Ambassador Alexandros Papadopoulou, and you played an integral part in organizing that visit for him in DC. What did the visit entail? How was he received by the U.S. administration?
Yeah, it was our pleasure and honor to do so. We've known the Mitsotakis family for generations. I've known Kyriakos for many years. His wife, Mareva, believe it or not, was an intern at Manatos Manatos when she was in the DC area during
Wow.
college. So we even have a relationship back then with Mareva, who's her own force in Greece and what she's doing as a businesswoman and on issues of importance to the Greek people. So we were thrilled and excited about it. It was really a remarkable trip. Not only did he have the meeting with the President of the United States in the Oval Office, he also had, with his cabinet that he brought over with the President's cabinet, a substantive meeting in the Roosevelt Room that evening. In Washington, a lot of way of communicating the importance of an issue or a country is the way they're received, because there are just certain levels on which you are received. Not only was there a large reception at the State Department, it was co-hosted by the Vice President of the United States and the Secretary of State, which again sends a big signal throughout Washington that, wow, this is a country and a person of great importance to the United States. Earlier in the day, I believe it was that day, he was received in the House of Representatives by the Speaker of the House and the House Republican leader. Again, a bipartisan, highest level possible reception in the House. And the Senate, he had a very substantive meeting with the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and again, driven by the great work of Bob Menendez. But a lot of times you'll have a prime minister of a major country, India or Great Britain or Germany, and the way these things work because of the schedules and because of all the different responsibilities senators have, you'll get, 7, 8, 9 senators show up for the discussion, for the 1-hour discussion. We were able to help get 12 United States senators, bipartisan representation, to attend and hear firsthand from Prime Minister Mitsotakis. And I got to say, he is, I think, the perfect face for Greece at this time. Not only obviously is his English spectacular, but he, having spent a lot of time in the United States, he understands the mentality of the United States and what's important to them. So not only articulating Greece's priorities, but in a way that makes it more digestible and more important to the United States. So I think he did just a really remarkable job throughout all of his meetings. I'll say that when he was meeting with the president, that was one of the most challenging because of all the intense scrutiny on the impeachment trial and other things that are going on. He very masterfully found a way to insert himself into this scrum around the president that were peppering him with questions about impeachment. And the president, as you know, is a unique person in those kinds of situations, and a lot of times doesn't like to be interrupted, and then obviously is irritated by the line of questioning. But the prime minister found a way to kind of keep bringing it back to Greece and reminding the president how Greece was being supportive and thanking the United States. I did a masterful job there. The only major piece to that visit was we had a lunch where we honored the prime minister and the first lady Mareva at a hotel in Washington. And it was co-hosted by, I think it was 6 different major national Greek American organizations, from Leadership 100, the Archons of the Ecumenical Patriarchate, HEPA, AHI, HALC, and the Washington Orchidea Foundation. And it was a nice opportunity for the prime minister to address the community leadership, and very well received. So it was really a remarkable visit from a number of perspectives. From our perspective, as the ones who, after the prime minister flies off, we go back to our daily, hourly efforts to promote Greece in the United States, and to have that kind of footprint left behind is truly remarkable. But I also think the opportunity for the community to see him and receive him and hear from him and see him in action really brought a lot of energy into our community. So we're very much looking forward to the future ahead. Although I've got to say, we've had some great administrations in Greece over the years, and one of which I remember distinctly is that your mother was involved with. First with George Papandreou as foreign minister, and then as prime minister. For those who don't know, Christiana is, as you know, many of you know her and how remarkable she is. She is the spitting image of her mother, her beloved mother, who did such a remarkable job behind the scenes in Greece and promoting U.S.-Greece relations that we actually named an award after her, the Maria Elena Cornales Contu Award that we give every year in the United States to someone who, like she did, behind the scenes, is doing remarkable things to strengthen the relations between the United States and Greece. And it's so wonderful for me personally, who knew your mother and loved your mother, to see you following so closely in her footsteps. So it's great to work with you in this capacity as well.
Oh, Mike, thank you. That's, I'm going to blush now. But there's, as one of the major ancient Greek values, hysterophimia, so your legacy, I appreciate you and Tseka and everybody involved for keeping that legacy alive. It's much appreciated. But speaking of legacies, tell me a little bit. You mentioned the Washington Orchidea Foundation. Now that's something you and your father, Andy Manatos, have co-founded, correct? If I'm